amazing viewers. I welcome you to Property Nugget, brought to you by One Real Expertise Properties Agency. And I am your host, Tutuzile Monica Mguni. And please remember to engage with us on our commentary section. Today, we are starting a new series, where we are reflecting on our previous segments, like things to consider when buying property, conveyancing, and the subsidy that the government gave to its South African citizens. Firstly, let's start with things to consider before buying property. What does logic say? Well, first things first, you'd want to go to Property 24 or Google a house that you think is suitable for you. But is that the right thing to do? Let's get to hear what our agents had to say regarding this matter on our previous segment. Let's take a look.
Okay, so it's very interesting. So what happened is, after you have found yourself an agency to work with, in this agency you've got different property consultants that you deal with. So they are different in every way. So they are specifically working with different things. Like I've told you before, that if you are looking for a vacant land, I am that specific person to work with.
Okay.
So if you are looking for a property around Middleburg in town or township and so on, there are specific people to work with. So that's how we divide ourselves. So what is it that you look for when you're working with an agency? You need to check the agency's history.
Okay.
You also, definitely you came to us because you were told about us.
Yes.
So there must be a certain thing that you heard about us that made you to come to us.
Obviously.
You wouldn't be here if you were not told good
Yes.
things. So AMA referrals as well.
Yes.
You also need to check on that. You also need to check with the clients that we've worked with service yet, was it good or was it bad? Do we deliver the best or what else? You know. So those are things that you need to consider, and that's why you get that specific agent, continue with that specific person, you won't go wrong.
So how important it is to stick to that one property practitioner?
It's very, very important, to the point that even if it so happened that you are looking for a certain property that you saw go Property 24.
Yes.
And I don't have it on my listings. And then probably my colleague Spiwe has it on her listings. It's not necessary that you now call Spiwe and say, Spiwe, can you please assist me with this property?
Yes.
Continue talking to me. Send me that link that you saw go Property 24.
Yes.
And then I will take you for a viewing on that property, and I will give you the necessary things. Don't cause confusion on yourself, because now you'll be speaking to Spiwe and then speaking to me, even if you're working with other agencies as well. If you see a property on Property 24,
yes,
send it to the very same agent that you're working with, and I will help you find that property. In the near future, even if you want to sell that property, whatever advice I gave you when you were buying that property, I must implement it so that it can be even easier for you to sell that property as well.
Okay, so now what happens if Uzi uyagula? Like Uzi uyagula bathe usesibhedlela like 3 months yonke. Like how do I go about ngaloku?
Remember that an agency doesn't have only one agency. There's like 15 of us.
Yes.
So definitely, if I'm not at my workplace, my colleagues will help you on behalf of Z. So there's no way that you can be confused, because the things that I know, obviously my colleagues will know.
Definitely.
So the same service that you would get from me, you will get it from Spiwe as well. So you wouldn't regret it.
All right, Spiwe, is there a private practitioner? Uthi mina ngisebenza ngiyi-one nje. I do my own things. I'm private. I can assist you.
No, there's no such in this industry. Like I said in the first question, that you have to check if the company or the agent is registered with the Property Practitioner Regulator Board.
Yes.
Yes, so there's no private property practitioner.
Yo guys, I hope nizone bangazon ropa. So what are the red flags that one should look out for?
Yeah.
Angaskenywa, because hey,
Yay.
desperate gawang.
Izinto ziyenzeka and futhi ke le ibaluleke kakhulu ngoba abantu especially laba abathengisa ama-RDP umuntu uyafika athi ngithengisa i-RDP bese athathe imali yakho kanti akuyenziwa kanjalo. There's a process that eyenzakalayo mawuthenga i-property enziwa emaloyeni
Yes.
and futhi thina imali asiyithathi.
Kahle kahle.
Yeah, imali
Aninuki nje imali yabantu.
yes.
No, not even.
Imali ibhadala kuma-lawyer lawa akuyenzela i-registration
Yes,
process.
yes.
Thina asithathi imali. Labantu abaskema abantu usually umuntu uzoqela ukuthi i-deposit umfakele i-deposit ku-account yakhe of which is wrong. Thina ama-agent asithathi imali ibhadalwa emaloyeni ku-lawyer lelo lizobe likuyenzela i-transfer.
Wow. Very, very informative. I hope you guys now remember and are aware of the things to do before buying property. Remember, you need to find the right agency and make sure that you are pre-approved before you waste your time. Go online and search for a house that you actually don't even afford. So now we are going to check conveyancing. This includes attorneys. So this is basically a legal process whereby they have to process all the legal documents for your house to be processed. Let's take a look what our previous guest had to say regarding this matter. So if a buyer did not engage a conveyancer, what are the risks actually of just doing it by yourself and not engaging or consulting with a conveyancer?
There are a lot of risks involved. And I think the major one is that you can lose your money. If you paid the seller up front before the property is registered in your name, then there is a great risk that you are going to buy something and you will never be the owner thereof. So that's the major risk for a buyer. And for a seller, it's also a risk to go outside the legal process, because then you can let a potential buyer move into your property and that person might not be able to purchase the property, and then you have a problem there to get the property vacated again.
There are actually a lot of legalities between selling and buying property.
Definitely.
Sure, of which is something that I believe most of the buyers and sellers tend to neglect. Yeah, I can imagine. So can you take us through some of the differences, different parts that get involved during the transaction process?
Yeah, when you look at the legal process of transferring property, you've got the estate agent involved, first of all, to market the property and to find the suitable purchaser. And once you've found the purchaser, then usually, I would say about 80% of the time, your purchaser obtains finance from the bank to buy the property. Cash buyers are not so frequent. So then, secondly, you get a mortgage originator that assists a buyer with finance, and then you get the financial institution or the bank that will offer the loan to the purchaser. So you've got your estate agent, you've got your bond originator, you've got your bank, and then you've got your conveyancer that's going to deal with the transaction. And the conveyancer will deal with the other third-party role players like SARS, because we have to let SARS know if we do a property transaction, because there's transfer duty payable to SARS by the buyer.
It's a very long process.
And then also the municipality or the local authority is involved, because they must issue certain certificates to clear the property that it's paid, that all the taxes are paid on the property. So then it's the municipality. If it's a sectional title or flat, there's a body corporate involved. We must make sure that the levies are paid up to date before we can transfer the property. And then lastly, it goes to the deeds office for registration once all these role players have issued their necessary certificates.
Sure.
That is a complicated
it's a lot.
process.
It's such a Alrighty, I hope we've heard our expert what she had to say regarding the documents and the process that actually takes so much time. Now you will understand why it can actually take so long. Let's now check FLIPS, which is the government subsidy that provides first-time home buyers. How amazing is this? Let's check what our expert had to say regarding this amazing program that the government has. Thank you. So can you tell us what is it that we're going to talk about today?
Yes, I'm here to tell you more about FLISP. It's a government initiation to help people own homes.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
been initiated by the Department of Human Settlements, and it's there to help first-time homeowners earning between the bracket of 3,500 up until 22,000 to own a home that can't previously afford to buy a house.
That's a very great initiative. So I know that each province has its own different criteria when clients can apply. Can you briefly mention the differences?
Well, I'm not very familiar with all the differences. Like I said, I'm focusing in Mpumalanga mainly. So, but what the viewers can do is they can go onto the FLISP website on www.nhfc.co.za, and they will find all the information on there.
Okay. I know that you did mention in the beginning, but can you briefly explain again who actually qualifies for this grant?
Yes, all South Africa citizens, which is first-time homeowners. They've never been granted anything by the government before, no money whatsoever. They need to have a dependent. It does not have to be a child. It does not have to be, it can be a parent, can be a sibling, can be a sibling's children, aunts, uncles. So as long as you've got a dependent, you can apply for FLISP.
Okay, great.
And also they don't have to own a home.
Okay. So can one apply without being approved for a home loan? Just come to you straight.
Well, there is some exceptions. However, in this business that we are in, we do it with a product linked to the house. So we prefer you to have a bond approval or approved in principle, a pre-approval.
So can you guys assist even if they come to you without one to actually get approved?
Yes, we can do a pre-approval for them.
Oh,
And then
okay.
we can guide them to find a house and then to finance that house.
Even better.
Yes.
So what are the the minimum and maximum amounts do the people qualify for?
So you need to earn a basic salary of 3,500
Okay.
up until the amount of 22,000. And the less you earn, the more you will qualify for. So the more you earn, the less you will qualify for. So for instance, if you earn 3,500, you will qualify for almost 130,000 rand.
Okay.
If you earn 22,000, you will qualify for about 30,000 rand.
So the 22,000, it has to be both people in the household. When the money is combined, it has to be that for both salaries.
Well, it depends.
Okay.
Are you going to apply by yourself or is
Okay.
it you and a spouse? So if it's you and a spouse, the combined salary
Has to be.
22,000
All
gross.
right. Okay. Understood. So now, let's say they've obtained the grant. How do they make use of it?
Well, they can use it for a deposit on the bond. They can use it for their attorney fees. They can use it to build. Yes, it's a down payment on the house, so this goes purely for the house. So they just give you some money. You don't have to pay it back. It's all for free, and that's it.
It actually reduces the term for the loan.
The term, the installment, yes.
Oh,
It's
it makes
just like
things so much
it's a
easier.
breather, yes.
Oh, so amazing. So are there any new products?
There's no new products, but the criteria has changed some bit. Previously, FLISP was called FLISP, and now it's Help Me Buy a House program. Yeah, Help Me to Buy a House program.
All right, which is more simplified.
Yes.
All right, so when can our viewers get your services if they want to make use of you?
Well, they can contact me on my cell phone number on 082 423 5958. Or you can email me at chantal@getgohomeloans.com.
All right, can you please repeat the contact numbers and the email?
Yes. Cell phone number 082 423 5958 or email me chantal@getgohomeloans.com, or you can visit the FLISP website.
Wow, guys, how amazing was that? I think one point that truly stand out for me is that you do not have to pay back this amount. Imagine how amazing is that? And remember that it is only, unfortunately, for the first time home buyers. I believe that you guys actually have learned a lot from this segment that we've started. For today, this was our part 1. We will definitely see you on our second segment. From me and the amazing team, it is definitely a bye for now.